love you guys. So, now for something completely different. It's a piece I wrote a long time ago, and I really wanted to capture something that affects my life, some lives in my family, and probably people in your family's lives as well.
Yep.
My grandfather has seen war. My brother has seen war. My cousin has seen war. We all know somebody that has been deployed, and in it, you know, people come back and they come back the same. Sometimes they come back a little bit different, but you know, I spent some time with my brother down in Florida, and I really got to, after he was deployed in Afghanistan for a long period of time, and some seriously fucked up shit went down, and he's a Pedro on a rescue helicopter. He's a tail gunner, airman in modified Blackhawks. So what he did was, he went into, the Marines were pushing the Taliban against the mountains, and while they were doing that, there was a big firefight, and you know, people were dying, and he would go in and pick up people that were still alive or dead and try to get them onto the helicopter so we could fly them out of there. And while they were doing that, they were burning their poppy fields down so the terrorists didn't have any heroin money to buy all their weapons and get all their funding from them. I mean, that's what they were doing. And so don't fuck with the terrorists money. And so they're doing everything they can. And so it's super intense. A lot of things happen, and I had a poem about it, and I kind of just finished it recently, and this was a couple years ago. There's a piece called Soldier Listening. Grampy, you're spilling your drink all over yourself again. You see, we had to yell at him to talk. Because when the cannons fired on the battleships, they would only let him hold one ear when he stood at attention, because it looked more stoic. His hand shook so bad, he was like a new poet with his first printed piece up to the microphone. When he made it to his lips, smooth as butter. We talked about my brother when he got back, about how his laugh was different, his patience was shorter. When my cousin got back, he explained that no matter how much we know him, and no matter how much we love him, unless we've been there, we could never understand. His laugh stayed the same. Only he had developed an ironic obsession with first-person shooter games. And other than the obvious, they all had one thing in common. Something that if you could get them to crack, they would tell you about. They would tell you about how he said, now the tanks boom, the sound of home. They will tell you about how he said, now it's just 5 more weeks and I'll be back. Back to look my wife in the face and hers into mine. My war, weather-beaten face scarred with absence of smile. Because I have been trained to keep my expression as dry as the sand beneath my combating boots that would sell their souls to see ignorant again. And I'll laced with fact. And they'll march through April and May, drop another 4th of July celebration atop Junebug weapon crop. Boom! My white eye sniper scope blew 3 click, click, clicks, and my tie heels were roughnecks. Itchy trigger finger, cracked knuckleheads. Boom! I'm in the zone now, showing teeth in my semi-automatic laughter. This area's hot. Cool it down with suppression fire to extinguish the cold-blooded killers. Target is neutralized. No, the target is fucking dead. Palindrome between the mark and the marksman, between the bogey and the batwing, between God and man, and boom! The shockwave sends soldier listening straight in the subconscious, where we hear fears bouncing off emotional walls, making a symphony of musical landmines, breakdancing to a killer beat then. Deafening siren of the life support system blaring, you're alive, just barely. You're alive, just barely. You're alive, just barely. Blurred perception of the depths of my injuries, clearly noticing that my depth perception is blurred. Boom! My heart flutters its ice water flow of reality, cooling fever of fear shake-offs in a life less lived heroically. Savior to fellow missionaries just doing their job. Laying in my hospital bed. She is still beautiful, even with her tears running down her perfect cheeks. They're gracefully channeling their love to that spot on their chin where they just can't hold on anymore. And Let's go. Falls to let the proof follow with another. Snow white skin under fire red nose. Boom. Her hazel eyes send life reflecting between two twin temples in my spirit of mind. Her spirit of merit. Her hand comes close and I can feel the tissue in her palm against my jawline. Makes its way down to the spot of my chin where her tears met their end. Looking up, mine just made their way back to my ears, muffling her 3 words that would define eternity. I love you too. Loudest boom she ever heard in her life. It's the last beat of his heart. Nevermore will he have to march forth. Now, he will only slowly walk into the light, and every night, when she kneels by a cold bed to pray, there will always be a soldier listening. Thank you.
Nice.